Hey people, this is Raz0 giving you my first Pokemon narration. This is the battle versus Weavile from Cerebi, and I hope you'll enjoy the battle. So I lead off with a Swampert and he leads off with a Jirachi. I'm expecting a trick, which he does do, and in counter to that I just go straight for the Earthquake to get some damage on this thing, which is going to do about half. Yep, just over half. So I'm thinking he might stay in, and I'm probably faster with the Choice Scarf, so I just go straight for another Earthquake, but he switches into a Yanmega. And it says it doesn't affect his pride, which is quite funny. But anyway, I forget I switch into Heatran wanting to kill this thing off, but then I forget that these things carry hypnosis, so now I've got a sleeping Heatran, which is absolutely brilliant. So I decide to go and switch out, double switch in. I go back into Swampert, see what he's going to switch into. Gyarados, I'm predicting a Dragon Dance now. Go straight into Starmie, because it's Choice Scarf. I know I'll be able to outspeed after a Dragon Dance and KO with a Thunderbolt, which happens just as planned, which is great and gives me an early head start. I mean, most people seem to fall for that with Starmie, so that's fine. Anyway, he switches into Flygon. Obviously, since I'm choiced, Thunderbolt ain't going to do a whole lot to it, so switch out into Swampert to take his attack. It's a U-turn, not going to do a whole lot of damage. And he switches into this Blastoise, which is going to get a Toxic off on me, as I roar it out, wanting to scout some more of his team, but unfortunately he goes back into Flygon, which isn't great for me and just gets me a Toxic for my troubles. But anyway, at least it gives me a good opportunity to go into Breloom. He Earthquakes, which isn't going to do a whole lot, and lets me get my Toxic Orb up, which is always nice for a Breloom. And this turned out to be a great Pokemon this battle, because he switches into his Blastoise and I just get it to sleep, allowing me to get a free sub up. Which, as you probably know, a free sub on Breloom is pretty fun. Anyway, he goes into Weavile, which you'd figure he has, thinking of his name. And I just get a Focus Punch on it. He's going to kill me off with, he's going to kill my sub off with Ice Shard, but I managed to get the KO in return, which means Breloom has already done more than it needs to, getting someone to sleep and taking out an opposing Pokemon. But he does way more than that this battle, so I'm not going to complain about that. And after that, with Toxic Heal, he's going to be on 2/3. He switches into this Flygon. I don't want to Breloom take some more damage, so I switch to Starmie, forgetting he has U-turn, which is going to do a massive amount to Starmie, and is pretty much going to nearly kill it off. But I managed to live, and then I make another stupid play here and go for an Ice Beam on the Jirachi, forgetting he resists it. Which I could have probably killed it with a Surf, but instead that doesn't happen. But luckily his Iron Head doesn't KO me either, but it forces me to switch out into Heatran, which he apparently predicts this and goes for Stealth Rocks, which is, it's not too bad. I only have one Pokemon that's really weak to it in the team. I decided to get a turn of Sleep get out of the way, as he goes for the U-turn, which allows him to switch into this Flygon. But I'm predicting an Earthquake, because what else would you do to a Heatran? Going to Zapdos, and it manages to take that quite nicely, as you would expect. And since this thing's probably banded or scarfed, then he's going to retreat into his Jirachi again, and I'm going to go for a double switch into Swampert, because at this stage I'm deciding he's got a Yanmega, I really want to get some rocks up. So that's exactly what I do. Even though I'm scarfed, and that means it's not going to do a great amount after it, and it's going to force me to switch. Luckily he switches into a sleeping Pokemon, which means it's not too bad switching out. I would have done it into Breloom anyway, and it allows me to get a free sub up, which is just what my Breloom wants. And now he decides to stay and return to sleep as I sub up. Then he switches out, predicting my C-Bomb goes into Jirachi, which C-Bomb isn't going to do much to that Jirachi, but then I will be able to get a Focus Punch off and just kill it, which is nice to get this out of the way, which I'm not sure if I could have done that without the Earthquake, but it shows it was useful either way. But he gets enough, he manages to break my sub before I kill him, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not too much of a problem, because as I said, Brian's taking out 2 Pokemon now, and he's going to come back for a bit more later on, so he switches into a Flygon, which he did last time. I just go back into my Heatran because I'm not expecting an Earthquake. He goes for a U-turn, which is going to do next to nothing against him, but unfortunately he's going to go back into Blastoise, which is I'm not going to be able to get a turn of sleep, because even though he's asleep, I have a feeling he's going to wake up, and I don't want that to happen. But I go straight into the balloon because I think he can take a surf, but luckily he stays asleep, letting me get my free sub, I think. Yeah, free sub. And he just stays asleep, which is perfect opportunity, really. I think I'm just going to go for the C-bomb here, which is... I thought this was going to kill it, but it didn't, which is quite annoying, but whatever. He manages to wake up and get a surf out, which actually did break my sub, but I probably could have lived it, so whatever. Even though it's not very effective, but then obviously he predicts I'm going to go for the seed bomb again to kill it, but no, I go for the spore because I like things to be asleep, and it hits the Flygon, which is a bit of a problem for Breloom, so that means it does even more. So now I get a free sub up again, as Breloom does, and I'm just going to kill it off with a Focus Punch. So that's 3 Pokemon my Breloom's taken out of this game. He breaks my sub again, but it doesn't matter because I get the HP back with Poison Heal as it is. So if you haven't used Breloom, use it because it's an awesome Pokemon from my experience. So yeah, Focus Punch kills this guy off, as you would expect from a Breloom. And my Poison Heal puts me back on literally nearly full health. He switches back into Yarmega. I don't really want to take a Bug Buzz, so I go straight into Swampert, because I want to get a Roar off, but obviously I think Zapdos isn't cool enough for the job. And he does Hidden Powers, which I assume is Fire, seeing as how it kills Scizor later on. And yeah, he protects my Roar, so just to get a bit of toxic damage and see what I was going to do. And now he manages to Bug Buzz for the KO, which annoys me a bit. And being a bit silly, as I am, I now go into Scizor and let him die, because I think a Bullet Punch might kill it, but obviously I overestimate my Scizor, and he just dies to a Hidden Power Fire after the Protect. Now, really, I could have just gone straight into Zapdos to get the KO with Stealth Rock here, but I obviously just wasn't thinking straight when I did that. So I lose my Scizor for no reason, but okay, it was a reason, I was just being a bit stupid, but that's part of me playing the game, I guess. So switch in, take some more Stealth Rock damage. He goes for a Protect, which would have been a great opportunity to boost, but I can't be bothered at the moment, so I'll just go for the Roar. He knows what I'm going to do, and he just gets a bit of damage off before he goes out and dies. So then he switches out into Blastoise thanks to the Roar, and Thunderbolt is just going to kill off that Breloom, and then Stealth Rock is going to take out the Yarmega, which proves how important it was. I set it up earlier in the game. I might have even lost without that Stealth Rock, so that was a good game, Weavile. Yeah, if you enjoyed my videos, then feel free to subscribe. I'll be uploading a video every Monday and Thursday. If you want to have a game, feel free to give me a PM. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, see you in the next video.